So, what's the plan? And here we are on day 4. And as you can see, the items that came in the second wave are still here in the hallway. But I've been lightly touching and sorting and kind of looking to see rhyme and reason for this. I'm very proud of myself because look here. All these boxes right here are empty. Here, I'm going to show you. Empty. I'm very proud. So kudos to me. There is some progress on this, but a lot of my time today, because it is the end of the day, you can see the setting sun. A lot of my time has been spent on bagging fabric. So see, look at all the progress. And there are a few bags in the back that are still in process getting filled. And you can see where I've got one sheet tied up. So I've just taken the corners and tied that up. Now, over here in the rocking chair, this is all the Christmas prints that I was able to find on the first sorting efforts, and also some pieces that had been worked on already, some already finished squares, which was so beautiful to find. I'm so excited to have that. And there was pieces that had been started to be there was fabric started to be pieced together. I'm a little perplexed on what I'm going to do with squares and pieces of squares that have been started. Am I going to pick up where they left off? Will I be able to match the skill that started the project? I'm not sure. That's going to be pushed towards the back. Here you can see where I've got large 2-gallon Ziploc bags where I'm kind of putting those pieces that I found where someone has already started the cutting and the work and some of the materials that match it. Now look here, this is real interesting. What in the world am I going to do with these little tiny square pieces? If you look close, you could tell that these things have been purchased in this format, with someone gone through with pinking shears and turning these into little bitty tiny squares. I'm just intrigued. I've been wanting to see some YouTube on what in the world you would do with these little tiny squares, how a retail setting would sell something like this. It still has the cardboard. I'm like, someone just took it off the rack in this format. So now that my curiosity is piqued, I also have some hope. Like, some of my scrap is a little bit bigger than these squares. So maybe I can cut up some of my scrap pieces into this format if I can find out what type of quilt or pattern is using such tiny remnants of fabric. So I was able to get enough fabric into kitchen bags to tie up this bag, and I also have a second sheet that I tied up, and here it is. This one is much smaller, so the one in the front room will come first to be stacked into a stash setting. Here you can see where I'm trying to get all the fabric out of the living room. Like, where is it going? I've still got my totes of the original fabric stash, and I think I'm seriously going to have to refold and reconfigure because there's a lot of empty space in that top one. And I'm going to have to utilize every cubic inch I can towards my stash storage. Over here is all the ribbon. That was some of the initial sorting of the first wave. And guys, okay, I'm not going to be able to use my sewing area where it was. So now that's going to be office, and I'm just going to, I've brought my sewing machine out here. I've given it a lot of thought. You can tell this is the end of the day of day 4, and I'm showing you my progress. Initially, I was going to put the inventory, all the fabric and materials, into the corner of this bedroom where this large leather sewing machine is, and still use the sewing area like it was. But I have the big rollout shelf, and I was looking, and I was trying to move material and fabric onto the cart. Well, as you remember, it was already stuffed full of fabric. And I've moved some stuff. I actually used my sewing machine to quickly mend. Like, I think I hemmed some pants because it was really bulky. And if I get the pants out of the pile and back into the closet where I could use them, that made room for more fabric. And there were some things on my shelf, my rollout shelf, that wasn't sewing. Like, some stuff had landed there and just got homey. Had to evict that and put it in another spot. So on my next video, I'm going to show you a little more about the cart with the wheels. But for now, I had to make this big pivot where instead of sewing in the office area, I'm just going to use the office area for storage. So I'm moving a lot of boxes tomorrow. That's the plan. I'm going to move boxes off of the rolling shelf and stack them up, which I hate because I really like my open walls. The open walls was an achievement for the way that I am immune to clutter. But so I'm gonna stack boxes again up against the walls. We'll see. I think I could do that pretty easy. So for now, it's just, I'm going to put the sewing machine out here where it's light. There's lots of natural light, and I think I can make this look decent. But if all else fails, we can always shut the door to the master bedroom. I have got to get the stuff out of the hallway. I've got to get it out of the living room. I feel a lot of pressure. I do, because I can see how my husband is stressing out. And I think I even heard a comment from one of my kids, my older boy, about how I don't know, he's feeding off of Daddy's energy and making jokes and comments like Daddy is. So I am being prodded to get stuff out of there. And gosh, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make room over in this corner where I've decided to make the sewing area. So on top of putting inventory away, I'm having to reconfigure the workspace. Bear with me, and thank you guys so much for watching.